Welcome to the session on fractions and division of fractions in particular. The objectives for this session are learning how to understand what it means to divide fractions using the reciprocal, and solve simple real-life problems involving division of fractions. Division asks how many groups fit inside another quantity. So, for example, how many halves are in a whole? Suppose we have a whole and we split it into two, so half each. 1 divided by half equals 2. There are 2 halves in a whole. Now let's ask how many quarters are in 1 half. Here's a whole which is split into 2 halves. If we split the whole into quarters, as shown here, then you can see that in 1 half there are 2 quarters. So a half divided by a quarter equals 2. To divide fractions, we first need to understand the reciprocal. The reciprocal is found by swapping the numerator and the denominator. So, for example, we know that every fraction has a reciprocal. The reciprocal of a half is 2. The reciprocal of 2 over 3 is 3 over 2. And the reciprocal of 3 over 4 is 4 over 3. Let's now take a look at dividing two fractions. To divide two fractions, keep the first fraction, change division into multiplication, and then flip the second fraction to its reciprocal. So, for example, if we want to calculate 2 over 3 divided by 4 over 5, we keep 2 over 3, then we change divide to multiply, and then we flip. So 4 over 5 becomes 5 over 4. And then we multiply. So we have 2 over 3 multiplied by 5 over 4, which gives us 2 times 5 over 3 times 4, which equals 10 over 12. We can divide top and bottom, or numerator and denominator, by 2 to give us 5 over 6. Now let's take a look at another example. Suppose we want to calculate 3 over 4 divided by 1 over 2. We keep 3 over 4, we change division into multiplication, and then we flip. The reciprocal of 1 over 2 is 2 over 1. And finally we multiply. So 3 over 4 multiplied by 2 over 1 to give us 3 times 2 divided by 4 times 1, which equals 6 over 4. The numerator and denominator have a common factor, which is of course 2. So dividing top and bottom by 2 gives us 3 over 2. And this is of course equal to 1.5. Some of the common mistakes students make are flipping the first fraction instead of the second one, and forgetting to change the divide into multiply, and forgetting to simplify the final answer. Remember to only flip the second fraction. Now let's calculate 5 over 6 divided by 1 over 3. So, do you remember the steps? Remember, we keep 5 over 6, Then we change divide to multiply, and then we flip. So 1 over 3 becomes 3 over 1. And finally we multiply. So 5 over 6 multiplied by 3 over 1 to give us 5 times 3 divided by 6 times 1, giving us 15 over 6. And the common factor of 15 and 6 is 3, so dividing numerator and denominator by 3 gives us 5 over 2. So our final answer is 5 over 2, which is 2.5. Fraction division is useful in everyday life. Here we are finding how many quarter meter pieces fit into 3/4 of a meter. Let's solve this. So we're required to calculate 3/4 divided by 1/4. So as before, we keep 3 over 4, then we change divide to multiply, and we flip 1 over 4 to give 4 over 1, and then multiply. So 3 over 4 times 4 over 1. 3 over 4 times 4 over 1 to give 3 times 4 over 4 times 1, which is equal to 12 divided by 4, which is equal to 3. Therefore, the final answer is 3 pieces. So here's a summary of some of the key points covered in this lesson. Remember that division asks how many groups, and keep, change, flip is the order in which we divide fractions. So we keep the first fraction, change the division sign to a multiplication sign, find the reciprocal of the second fraction, and then multiply the fractions. And finally, we simplify the final answer. Now pause the video and have a go at these exercises. Press play when you're ready to view the solutions. Solutions are coming up shortly. This brings us to the end of this session. Do attempt the exercises in your textbook related to this topic. Thank you very much for listening.